The book of 2 Kings continues the historical narrative found in the Hebrew Bible and the Christian Old Testament. It follows the history of Israel and Judah after the division of the kingdom, chronicling the reigns of various kings and the eventual downfall and exile of both kingdoms. The book portrays the consequences of disobedience, idolatry, and the consistent call for faithfulness to God's covenant. Summary of 2 Kings. The division of the kingdom. The book of 2 Kings opens with the reign of King Ahaziah of Israel. It provides a parallel account of the events in both the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah. The division of the kingdom, which occurred after Solomon's death, resulted in two separate monarchies with separate capitals, Israel's capital in Samaria and Judah's capital in Jerusalem. The prophets Elijah and Elisha. 2 Kings continues to feature the stories of the prophets Elijah and Elisha, who play crucial roles during this period. Elijah's ministry culminates with his dramatic departure from the world in a chariot of fire. Elisha continues Elijah's work and performs various miracles, demonstrating God's power and care for his people. Succession of Kings. The book records the reigns of numerous kings in Israel and Judah. The assessment of these kings is based on whether they followed the ways of the Lord or turned to idolatry. Few kings demonstrated unwavering faithfulness to God, leading to the eventual downfall of their kingdoms. The fall of Israel. Despite warnings from prophets such as Elijah and Elisha, Israel persists in idolatry and disobedience. As a result, the Assyrians besiege Samaria, Israel's capital, and eventually conquer the kingdom in 722 BCE. The Assyrians deport much of the population and replace them with foreigners, effectively ending the existence of the northern kingdom of Israel. Judah's decline and fall. Judah, the southern kingdom, experiences a mix of faithful and unfaithful kings. However, idolatry becomes more widespread over time. The book highlights King Hezekiah as a faithful king who initiates religious reforms and seeks God's guidance during a crisis with the Assyrians. The Babylonian exile. Despite some periods of relative stability, Judah continues to drift away from God's covenant. As a consequence, the Babylonian Empire, led by King Nebuchadnezzar, lays siege to Jerusalem in 586 BCE. The city is eventually captured, the temple is destroyed, and much of the population is exiled to Babylon. This marks the end of the Kingdom of Judah. Hope for the future. While 2 Kings concludes on a somber note with the fall of Judah and the exile, it also hints at the hope for a future restoration. It mentions the release of King Jehoiakim from Babylonian captivity and the continuation of the Davidic line through his descendants. Conclusion. The book of 2 Kings presents a somber and cautionary tale of the consequences of disobedience and idolatry. It underscores the importance of faithfulness to God's covenant and the role of prophets in calling the people back to God. Through the stories of the kings, prophets, and the events surrounding the fall of both Israel and Judah, the book reminds readers of the enduring significance of remaining true to God's ways. It also lays the foundation for the hope of restoration and renewal that will be later fulfilled in the story of Israel's return from exile and the eventual coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ.